A mother's jealousy destroyed her son's marriage, and he realized too late he married the love of his life, his cousin. But his mother never accepted her. One day she made a lie so big, so cruel, it destroyed everything. And when the truth came out 10 years later, it was already too late. What happened next will leave your heart shattered. Please support us by subscribing to our channel. Thank you. Jack grew up in a loving but traditional family. When he fell in love with Rose, his cousin, it felt like the most natural thing in the world. They had been close since childhood, laughing at silly jokes, helping each other with schoolwork, and secretly dreaming of a future together. Jack admired her calm strength, and Rose adored his loyalty. But when Jack announced their engagement, his mother, Linda, was livid. "A cousin? No, Jack, I raised you better than this," she shouted. Linda wanted a daughter-in-law who would bow to her wishes, not someone like Rose, kind, independent, and firm in her dignity. Jack, deeply in love, stood up to his mother. "I'm marrying Rose. With or without your blessing." Linda didn't speak to him for a week. On the wedding day, she wore white not as a gesture of peace, but as a sign of disapproval. Though Rose treated her with respect and humility, Linda only offered cold looks and sharp comments. Months passed, and Rose became pregnant. Jack was overjoyed, but Linda's bitterness only deepened. She couldn't bear the idea of Rose becoming the center of Jack's world. Then one evening, while Jack was at work, Linda hatched a plan. She called a neighbor, staged a conversation, and when Jack came home, her performance began. "I'm sorry, son," Linda said, trembling, "but I saw Rose with another man, right here in your house." Jack's face paled. "What? She was laughing with him, too close. I didn't want to tell you, but you deserve to know." Rose denied it all. "Jack, please, I've never done anything like that." But Jack couldn't see through the fog of betrayal. His heart shattered, and that night, he gave her divorce papers without even touching her swelling belly. 10 years passed. Jack never remarried. He tried to move on, tried to build a life, but a piece of his soul was missing. Rose was the only woman he ever truly loved, and he had thrown her away without giving her a chance to prove her innocence. Linda, now in her 70s, became frail and dependent. She had suffered a stroke and was mostly bedridden. Her bitterness had faded into silence, but Jack never spoke of Rose, until one quiet night when Linda called him to her bedside. "Jack," she whispered, her voice weak and trembling. "Before I go, there's something I must confess." Jack leaned closer, thinking she wanted comfort. "I lied about Rose. That day, I never saw her with anyone. I made it up. I just didn't want her in your life." His heart stopped. "What are you saying? I ruined your marriage. I was selfish, and I'm so sorry." Jack couldn't believe what he was hearing. The mother he trusted more than anything had destroyed the woman he loved with one lie. He stumbled out of the room, gasping for breath. Everything came rushing back: Rose's sobs, the pleading in her eyes, the child she carried. "I left her alone, pregnant," he whispered to himself. The next morning, Jack made a decision. He had to find her. He had to say sorry. Maybe, just maybe, she would forgive him. Even if she didn't, he had to try. Jack searched everywhere. He reached out to old neighbors, distant relatives, anyone who might know where Rose had gone. Some had heard she moved states. Others said she was raising a child alone. Weeks turned into months, but Jack didn't stop. Finally, a distant uncle gave him a lead. "She's in a small town 3 hours away, lives alone, quiet life." Jack drove all night, nervous, sweating, rehearsing his apology over and over in his head. When he knocked on the door of a small, humble house, a familiar voice said, "Yes," and there she was, Rose, older, her eyes more tired, but still beautiful. "Still Rose, Jack." She gasped. He fell to his knees. "I'm sorry, I was wrong. My mother lied. She confessed it. I believed her, and I destroyed us. I destroyed you." Tears filled her eyes. She didn't step forward. She didn't touch him. "I forgave you a long time ago, Jack," she said softly, "but that doesn't mean I can come back." "Why?" he asked, desperate. "I raised a child alone. I cried for you for years. I waited, but I had to heal. I built my life without you, and I can't go back to what broke me." Jack wept. "Please, anything. Let me just try." She shook her head gently. "There's nothing left to try. Some wounds are too deep." As he left, he looked back at the woman he once called his world, and she was closing the door, not with hate, but with acceptance. Weeks later, Jack returned to the same house. He held on to hope. Maybe she'd changed her mind. Maybe they could start again. But instead of Rose, a neighbor opened the door. Her face was somber. "You're Jack, aren't you?" "Yes, I'm sorry. Rose passed away 2 nights ago. Heart failure. She'd been sick for a while." Jack felt the ground vanish beneath him. He leaned on the gate, breathless. "No, please, no. There's one more thing. Her daughter. She's inside." Jack stepped into the house, trembling. He saw a girl about 10 sitting quietly on the sofa. Her eyes, they looked just like Rose's. He knelt in front of her. "I'm your father." The girl didn't smile. "I don't know you. I wasn't there. I made a terrible mistake. But I want to know you now." She stood up. I needed you when I was born. I needed you when Mom cried at night. I don't need you now. Jack watched her walk into her room and close the door. He stood in the silent house that once echoed with Rose's love, now empty. He sat on the couch where she must have wept, rocked their child to sleep, whispered his name when no one was listening. He had come to say sorry, but sorry was 10 years too late. A single lie can destroy a lifetime of love. Jack believed the wrong person and lost everything. His wife, his child, his family. If someone loves you with all their heart, hold them tight. Don't let anyone come between that love, because sometimes, I'm sorry comes when no one is left to hear it. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more emotional stories that remind us how precious love and truth really is.